Alright guys, Matt here with Team Stomping Grounds, and today we're going to talk to you about the 11th Company Grand Tournament that's coming up November 10th and 11th. I know all of us are attending it. This will be my second year, I believe Kevin's second year, and for these three gentlemen here, it's going to be third year. As I said, my name is Matt, this is Kevin, TJ, Timmy, and Jesse.
Let's go.
So, like we said, it's 11th Company Grand Tournament. It's going to take place in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, normally thought of for its golfing resort, but we're going to play some Warhammer. It's going to be a 7-round GT. Now this is because 11th Company for the first time is going to go up to 90 players, so they need to get that 7th round in. It's a 2,000 point tournament, and they don't actually require painting, and this is a tradition for 11th Company. So the first question is, obviously this is the first GT we normally go to that doesn't require painting. What do you guys thought on not requiring painting? Well, Kevin?
Well, last year was my first, pretty much my first year playing. I started in the summer right before the 11th Company GT, so I didn't have a lot of time to prepare. The guys all convinced me right as I got into the hobby. They're like, dude, come down to the 11th Company. It's a great tournament, great people. So I didn't have enough time to paint. They said, you don't need to paint, so this is great. And the same thing this year. I just started a new army, Tau. Sorry, everybody. I had to do it. Jesse told me to. But I don't have enough painted. So I like the idea that I can go to this grand tournament with my busy schedule and still be able to play without a fully painted army.
Well, me with painting, at least with no painting here, it gives me a lot more time to actually play test without having to sit down, paint for hours to get everything ready and done. I can actually just play with my army, get ready to go, and I can be a little lazy with it too.
Well, for people who don't know me, my painting's bad. The first year, Grey Knights, the Red Pantsmen. Second year, Sisters, and they were god-awful painted.
Krylon with highlights.
So, this year, I have a painted army that I didn't paint, so it's good.
I like there's no painting because the best part of it all going down is I don't have to see Timmy ruin a perfectly good army that he spent good money on.
Man, no love for painting. I hate painting, and I still at least like to see painted armies.
I like to see painted armies. I don't love to see painted armies by Timmy.
I like to see painted armies. I just like the option of having a GT for someone like me or other people who have busy schedules, don't have exactly enough time for the hobby as other people, to be able to go to a tournament and experience a GT experience without having to rush paint and possibly ruin models.
Yeah, not having the stress over getting everything done, painted in time is really nice.
So we said 7 rounds, which of course brings the curse of 4 rounds on Saturday. Obviously Nova does this. Nova's kind of the exception with having 256 people. They need a lot of rounds. One, what are your thoughts on 4 rounds in one day? And then how do you as a player prepare for it? We'll start with Jesse.
4 rounds in a day can be rough, but kind of used to it. I mean, with just play testing a lot, getting a bunch of games into the day. Adepticon does it, Nova does it. I mean, it's just the name of the game. You got to be used to it. Preparing for it though is the most important part, and it's wearing comfortable shoes and
Getting good sleep.
Yeah, I mean, just being ready for it, being prepared. I mean, it's going to be a long day one.
I know I had a tough time with 4 days. I'm not used to 4 days. 4 games in a day. 3 is good, and it's like, it depends on like time and hours. Like 2.5 hours in a game is good. If it's 3 hours and 4 games, it's good because you have a lot of time. It's just, it gets a little rough on the eyes. There's always bright lights, and it's rough sometimes. But just have a lot of drinks and bring aspirin, because you'll need it.
Thoughts on 4 round tournament days? Ow, my short legs. I've had to do it a couple of times now. The second day is what ends up being the problem. You're fine usually that first day, at least from my experience, but that second day is rough, even if it's only 3 rounds. I recommend, because there's usually seats, sit down as much as you can while you're playing too, just to keep some of the weight off your legs for as long as you can. And like they were saying, drinks, aspirin, non-alcoholic drinks, by the way.
But I want to play Beer Hammer.
Yeah.
Alcohol, perfectly fine. Have a couple of beers while you're playing, but absolutely be sure to stay hydrated. 4 rounds at 3 hours is 12 hours of playing. and that's literally half a day. It's a long time. If you've ever used Dr. Scholl's or something like that, inserts for your shoes, comfortable shoes is super important. And just like TJ said, and Blackmore will always say on 11th Company, sit down as much as you can. The chairs are there, use them, get used to them. It helps your back out a lot, helps your feet out a lot, and makes the day a lot better.
I'm a Magic player. I get like a play for these Warhammer guys. I'm used to tournaments being show up at 9 a.m., leave around 11 p.m. So
I'm a Magic
And
player
sit
too.
down the entire time.
Exactly. Matt, we're both Magic players. You sit down the whole time. It may hurt your back, like leaning over the table, but you're relaxing. You're playing Warhammer. You're at like an angle over the table 90% of the time. It's a little different.
Especially when there's splash templates, you gotta really reach over the table if they're in the middle.
a lot of excuses here.
Or when you're on the very inside of the table, you gotta run around to get to the other side.
There's a lot of
I
moving
did that. I
around.
played drop pods last year, so I was always up against the wall. I was running all day. I got my workout.
There is a lot of complaining though.
So as we mentioned, it's 11th Company Grand Tournament. It's being hosted by 11th Company podcast guys. Neil and Pat are guys we've known for a long time through the game, so I know that's the reason we really like going. So last year we saw a lot of demons. There tends to be a lot of demons there. If you guys watched our Battle for Salvation wrap-up, we were surprised at the lack of Space Marines. Now, if you saw it all from Feast of Blades, they had a lot of Space Marines. So besides demons, I think we can all agree Space Marines we're going to see, and the notorious Tau and Eldar list. Is there anything specifically to look out for in terms of any of those armies?
I think BFS was an anomaly. I feel like Space Marines, both in even just a Centurion star with allies or Space Marine with bikes and Centurions, is going to be a big issue. The meta prior to Space Marines coming out was a lot of 2-up saves and a lot of 3-up invulns and saves, and Centurions just destroy that, grab destroys that. Also, Wave Serpent spam is going to be a big thing. One of our teammates, who shall not be named, was thinking about audibling literally today, before we recorded this, to running Wave Serpent spam. That would be Jesse.
Sorry.
So, Serpent spam is going to be a big thing. Our Ovessa Star list, which you'd also be able to see in our BFS video, possibly be adopted. I know at least 2 of our players are playing it, or similar versions of it. So those are going to be the main 3. Tau, Eldar, Space Marines. Big surprise. Also Chaos Demons. It's 11th Company. You're going to see a lot of Screamer Star. You're going to see Flying Circus. So just know to play to your strengths and with your army, and know those lists going into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been notorious for demons at 11th Company. I've seen it a bunch. Pretty sure you lost one last year, didn't you?
Yeah, Pat. That dude. Pat running 27-27. And I do recall, only thing he had left was Plague Bearers, but I didn't have any troops left, so.
So he's a better man than you.
Yeah, he had
Okay.
troops. Yeah, because he was like, you know what? I'm going to deep strike my entire army behind you. Needless to say, Terminators and Kodiaz and they are here, and he's been expecting you. They all died, except for the 5 Plague Bearers that deep strike on the other side of the table and they couldn't reach.
But Space Marines are definitely going to be a big one. Like I believe Matt DeFranza said in the last video, it was in BFS. It was pretty much because people couldn't get it painted in time. They had just come out, not enough time. This one you don't need painting, so there's going to be a lot of gray bikers, prime bikers, some fully painted bikers, Centurions, all that fun stuff, which is rough for Tau. But yeah, and you're inevitably going to see the Eldar Serpent spam lists too. So it'll be interesting to see what the Marines do in that meta.
I think Marines are going to be seen a lot. I mean, Grav is a really good weapon in the current meta. There's a lot of bikes. There's a lot of just like armor armies. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if you see missile last cannon Centurions. They're a little expensive, but they're worth the points. Also, demons. All the demon princes that are flying, they have a 3+ armor save. So if they get grounded and you open up with a Grav bike squad, they're gonna die. They just will. With not having to have your army fully painted, you're gonna see a lot of stronger compositions instead of just seeing like players having to work around what they have painted. with it not having to be painted, they can literally put in anything they want, and you'll see a lot of net lists simply because of that.
So you guys are all talking about the top armies. At 11th Company, there's always a lot of Tyranids. They're always well represented, and
I'm ashamed for not mentioning them.
Tyranids are actually still an army that if you don't expect to see, you're gonna have a bad time. Like that's just no other way to put it. If you don't expect to see them, you're gonna have a bad time. They can play upset to a lot of lists. They have some bad matchups, like in Tau. Could be a potential bad matchup, but they still have some good matchups too. I mean, they're still hard to kill. They match up pretty well against demons. They don't match up terribly against the Marines because they can just gaunt spam. So, I mean, yeah, you got to protect your monstrous creatures, but they're able to do it, I mean, with just waves of gaunt. So, kind of feel like you need to expect some Tyranids still.
So we're going to round real quick. We're going to talk about a little bit of what we're going to be playing without giving away too many secrets, seeing as this video will come out before the actual tournament. And I really want, real quick from everyone, general thing you're playing, what you're afraid of, and what your plans are against, specifically what I think are going to be Grav, how you're going to combat that. Since Jesse can't decide what he wants to do, we're going to start with him.
Great. So, everybody knows I play the Ovesta Star, and I'm really thinking about taking the Ovesta Star, more or less because it's just my back pocket army. It's the crutches that everybody calls as I'm being like tortured by my own teammates. But honestly, I'm kind of a little lackluster on the Ovesta Star in general. Been having some rough games with the bikes. It's definitely a playable matchup against the bikes. Going first, you put a big hurting on the bikes. Or you have to win the all-important infiltrate roll-off with your crew to kind of bubble out to prevent them from getting that all-important alpha strike. If you can stop them from getting the alpha strike, the Tau alpha strike neuters the bike list back. So it's he who strikes first wins. I am contemplating taking Wave Serpents to get a little practice in because I might take them to the boys. I don't know yet.
For me, well, since I don't have an army that's fully painted, I'm taking demons. Yay, demons, flying circuits.
But that army is fully painted by everybody else.
Exactly. I will show up with a nicely painted army. Flying circus demons, Kairos, Grim, Kairos, and having Grim and Porterglyph, and that's it. That's all I need. Flying circus, yay.
Good call.
Good call.
Yes. What are you scared of?
I'm afraid of Tau. And more importantly, Tau with Eldar jet bikes. Because Eldar with jet bikes are annoying, especially if you don't go first. I mean, if you go second. If Eldar goes second with a lot of jet bikes, it turns out to be a problem because I want to go second so that I can deny the objectives and then just win with my objectives. With a lot of jet bikes, if they're able to turbo boost on the last turn up to 48 inches, yay, bikes, then it's a really tough matchup.
Alright, well, I am bringing Tau. So Farsight Enclave main with Tau allies.
Is that an Ovesta Star?
No.
What are you talking about? You're fired.
Not bringing an Ovesta Star. I am bringing a lot of snipers.
You're drunk, TJ. Go home.
I'm probably most scared of a couple of lists. Marine Bikers, because ow my face. If I don't get first turn, they can really just run rampant over me. Even with bubble wrapping with crew becomes an issue. Screamer Star, mostly because I haven't actually really gotten a chance to play against it. I understand how to beat it, it's just I haven't played it yet. And then Serpent Spam, because that's another one I've played, I believe, one game against it. So, I'm wondering about that. For the bikes at least, I think I have a decent strategy, because I bubble wrap with the crew, and then I try and snipe out all the grav guns. Because grav guns don't get lookout sirs, so I've got a lot of precision. The Serpent Spam, kill the serpents?
Seems solid.
Seems like a good plan.
And then
Very cool.
the Screamer Star, depending on if they get the Grim off or not, kill their troops. If they don't get the Grim off, unload into the Screamers. And if for some reason Kairos is on the board, since he's not going to be grimmed, killing.
Make the chicken go away.
Chill that chicken, absolutely. I also am running Tao Tao. TJ and I are running similar lists. We have a fondness for sniper drones that Jesse sort of shares and Timmy does not.
I hate sniper drones.
My biggest thing I'm scared of at this tournament is my reserve rolls. You guys laugh because you know I'm telling the truth. I do not want. I have a lot of games. The way that I've been playing is I've been keeping a decent amount of certain troops in reserve to have them come in later. In theory, and then when I roll all of them to come in on turn 2, they all get wiped. So the way that my list is designed, I want them to come in later. So that's my biggest fear. And then obviously along with everybody else who's playing Tau, I don't want to go up against Grav. I don't really want to have to go up against Wave Serpents, but firepower, I hope I can kill them. That's about it. And the occasional Space Wolf player, because Jaws.
I'm playing Kevin's worst nightmare. I'm going to be playing grab bikes with Space Wolf allies because I can't take a list without Space Wolves, period, and grab bikes seem fun. I fear the Helldrake horribly. My only way of beating it is pray that they never come on the table, or I can keep myself tied up in combat on their turn, just hit and run out on their turn, so I can shoot them on my turn and charge back in and pray to be in combat. I'm going to stay away from Centurions and try without them. I know the internet is raving that everything has to be Centurions. I'm going to try without it, so we'll see how it goes.
Are you basically replacing your Centurions with the Space Wolves?
Yes.
I like it.
Because nothing is complete without Rune Priests. So check out a lot of other videos we're going to have out. This will be out before the event. We're going to have a lot of coverage of the actual GT, including interviews with Neil and Pat. A lot of fun stuff. We're actually going down for the entire week beforehand and spending the week in Myrtle Beach. We'll have a lot of cool stuff we're doing there. Also check out, we're going to be doing something a little more unique with the team for videos. And you guys are Magic players, know that Channel Fireball does an article every week called List Doctor, or Deck Doctor, where players submit a deck and then a pro looks at it, kind of gives some tweaks and some recommendations. We're actually going to be doing that. We're going to be calling it List Doctor. We're going to be taking lists submitted by you, the viewer. We're going to pick one. We're going to play whatever matchup. We want you to send us an idea like, hey, I'm playing this matchup. I'm having a hard time beating my friend playing this. We're going to take the list. We're going to play a game with it. We're going to talk about it, give you guys some suggestions, and then maybe toss in some cool stuff as well. So if you guys want to submit that, check out our Facebook page, message us, email us, send us an idea on your list. We're going to pick a list at the end of November, and then we're going to have the video out to be in December. So check it out. For any more information about that, check out the link below. I guess it's common to point down, so you can also hopefully know where the link is.
All that information will be in the underbar. We'll have links to the Facebook page, the store's webpage, all that information that you'll need for that and other videos and other information about the team and our videos.
Hey, click subscribe too.
Yes.
While you're down there. And a thumbs up, you know? We can do it all.
Like,
we can do it all.
Subscribe, click the linky links. It's going to be perfect.
And if you guys go to 11th Company GT, which I strongly recommend if you're on the borderline about it, check us out down there. Give us a shout out. We'll be running around in jerseys. I'll have a nice little camera strapped to my forehead for the entire weekend.
We're going to strap a GoPro to Matt's head for a
You'll see me making fun of old man Gagno.
So check it out, guys. All right. Good luck if you're playing this weekend.
Thanks a lot.
Have a good one.